Hi everyone, this is Katie and it is Sunday here. I'm going to record a little bit of my food prep that I do on Sundays. I try. And today I'm focusing on making a lot of different soups for the week. The weather's still a little cool and my family likes to eat soup, and that's how I get everyone's veggies in. So my three recipes that I'm going to do today are chicken enchilada soup in the crock pot, chicken soup because we had roast chicken last week and I had the bones to boil, and butternut squash soup. They all actually require very similar ingredients, so it's really easy to prep the food all at once. So I look at all of the recipes ahead of time. Some of them I know in my head, and the chicken enchilada one I have to read out every time. And I figure out all the veggies that I need, and then I just do a lot of chopping. Chopping, peeling, smashing. And then that way I can chop everything all at once and divide it up for the three different soups. I freeze whatever's extra and we can defrost it later on in the week. But it's a really convenient way to do everything at once, have some variety for the week, and make sure that everyone gets their veggies in. So right now I'm going to peel and chop some carrots, then I'm going to clean and chop some celery, then I'm going to chop some onions, and I'm just going to distribute them for the three different soups. And it's really simple. It might take me an hour to get everything prepped. What I plan on doing for the chicken enchilada soup is tomorrow I work all day, on Mondays 8 hours out of the house, and I like to put the crock pot on in the morning and have it ready for dinner when I come home. That takes the pressure off anyone else to have to cook, and it makes sure that I come home to a healthy meal and don't start snacking because I'm hungry when I come home. For the chicken soup, I'll keep some out in the fridge. I like to freeze some of the stock. I do buy boxes of low sodium chicken broth for some of the soups that I make, but I also like to have homemade stock as needed. And my family actually really likes to eat chicken soup with carrots, potatoes, celery, and onions and rice. I'm trying to think of what else. The butternut squash soup actually has a very similar base to the chicken soup, but I put a whole butternut squash in there and then blend it with my hand blender. So it's kind of like a puree. Same veggies all go in. My family gets their veggies in, but it tastes like a sweet treat. It's a very nice, sweet tasting soup. And actually I did that part ahead of time before the video, but I chopped the two ends off the butternut squash. I stab it with a fork a few times, and then I stick it in the microwave for 5 minutes. And once it cools, it's very easy to peel and chop in order to cube up and put in the soup to boil. Again, same as the chicken soup, chicken broth, onions, celery, carrots, and then I put the cubed butternut squash in there, some spices. I like rosemary and thyme. And then once that boils for about a half hour altogether, it's very mushy and good to go, and I can stick my hand blender in there and puree it up. That's one that's really good frozen. It's really good fresh. My daughter loves it, and she's not a huge fan of her veggies all the time, but she will eat the soup. I love to have it for me to bring to work as a quick meal. I love to have it as a side dish of lunch or dinner. I like salads, but I don't like them all the time, twice a day. So I really focus my food prep around veggies and proteins because everything else in the fix for me is pretty easy to get in throughout the day. I like to have fruits as my snacks in between meals. The blue container, which I always use for cheese or hummus, I sneak in as snacks or extras as part of my meal. The orange container as well. Trying to think of what else there is. The carbs I like to add in as an extra. I'll have a piece of bread at breakfast, or a little bit of side of rice, whatever it may be. But those things are all kind of afterthoughts and easy things to add in because they feel like treats. But the veggies and the protein for me are kind of the base of the plan, and so that's what I focus on prepping. even if you don't want to make a lot of big meals for the week, or in my case soups, you can just chop raw veggies, distribute them in little baggies. Those snack baggies are great. You can measure them out beforehand in your green container and put everything in baggies for the week. You can put out 7 baggies of baby carrots or 7 baggies of chopped red pepper. I also buy little individual hummus at the grocery store, which is about the size of a blue container. This I love to pack in my lunchbox at work because I know I'm getting a healthy snack in. I pack some baby carrots, and that's an easy one for me to just grab and go. I'm trying to think of what else. I buy the big bags of Shakeology, so I get more servings each month, and that's another thing that if I know I'm going to be out of the house a lot during the week, I will use the scoops to measure out in snack baggies and just have a few shakes with me in the car and a clean shaker. So in case of emergencies and I get really hungry while I'm out, I make sure I always have a shake with me that I can just shake up with water if need be. I'm going to wash the celery. I'll be right back. So like I said, food prep doesn't have to be elaborate meals. I like to do 2 to 3 meals a week prepped in advance, but I also like to have things like veggies chopped up, fruits chopped up, my shakes measured. What else? Cheese I don't really measure ahead of time, but I do try to be very careful measuring it. A fun tip is that the orange container is actually exactly equal to half a blue container. So even though you only get 1 blue of healthy fats, of cheeses in my case, per day, I actually use the orange container to measure it because I know I'm getting half a blue container in that serving. So don't get confused with the colors because you still only get 1 blue of cheese, but I measure 2 oranges per day and count it as a blue because that way I know I'm getting the right amount of cheese, but I can distribute it between 2 meals, usually once at breakfast and my eggs, and then either lunch or dinner. Trying to think of what other tips I can give you as you're starting out your fix journey. I don't know, I think the more you plan and prep for the week, and you don't have to plan the whole 3 weeks out. You can do it once a week. You can do it for half a week. You do it 3 or 4 days at a time. Sometimes I even just do the night before. Even sometimes if I don't have time to prep the food, if I just write out, like literally write out the list of what I will eat the next day, I'm much better at staying on track and following it. It's very, very helpful to have a plan, and it's much easier to stick to the plan if you have it written out, if you have it in front of you. You can do it on a notepad on your phone, you can do it on paper, pencil, whatever works for you. But the more you plan ahead, especially during your first round as you're getting used to it, the better you're going to do to set yourself up for success. So I'm not going to bore you watching my entire food prep. I'm still on the carrots right now, but I hope this was a little helpful in just giving you some tips as you're about to get started. And I would definitely recommend before starting up, making sure your house is filled with healthy options, making sure you always have something with you. Apples is kind of my go-to because they don't go bad quickly, so I always like to carry an apple in whatever purse or bag I'm carrying that day. I love having a couple little sprinkles of peanut butter with me to go with the apple. It feels like a treat. Cinnamon spelled on apple is amazing. But have something with you at all times. Don't let yourself get to the point of hunger because that's when people cheat and get off track. And if it does happen, it's okay. It's not the end of the world or the end of the round. Just get right back on track. You're not going to gain weight just for one cheat, one exception. But if you continue on that path, you will. So, again, I'm going to leave you with that. And please feel free to post questions along the way, and I'm happy to answer them. And I wish you all the best of luck. I will be doing this round right along with you. Thank you. Bye.